Well, I am starstruck being in his presence. He balances the sizzle on the court with the fundamentals as well. It is UNC-Greensboro star Isaiah Miller joining the podcast. I'm Bryan Fenley with Fox Sports Radio, and I am a UNCG grad, just a couple years older than you, Isaiah, but I've got to say I've got so much pride in the program and so much in you for sure, based upon everything you've done with the Spartans. We're going to talk a lot about basketball on this podcast, but I first want to ask you, Isaiah, what's all the hype around this Netflix show Umbrella Academy that you are
Oh my God.
dedicated to, man?
Oh my God. This Umbrella Academy is like, it's like too good of a show. It's like something happening every second. Like, it's just every episode is going to blow your mind. Like you really got to lock into that show. It's really good. It's really good.
How did you get into it?
I was recommended by a friend. It was actually one of my teammates. One of my teammates said I should go watch it. And I was like, I might as well. I was like, I have really under quarantine, but like pandemic going on. I basically just work out, practice, come back, chill, eat, probably watch the show.
I can see how much you're interested in it. You're tweeting about it a lot. Now, here's a question for you, Isaiah. If you were to take any actor or any action figure from any show, movie, or book that you have consumed and be that person on UNCG's basketball team, who would you want to be?
You said is it like a superhero?
Anything like that. Yeah, it could be a superhero.
It'll definitely be like Optimus Prime. That's my favorite. That's my favorite movie. Transformers is my favorite movie. The best one is the third one with Sentinel Prime.
So what kind of superpowers do you feel like might compare or have similarities to that person to what you do on the court?
It's just Optimus Prime leadership, and he just like, he battles out through anything. He never gives up. He always have faith and hope of what he's always doing with his guys. So he just do it with a passion, whatever he's doing.
Your head coach, Wes Miller, has so much faith in you as well. And when you hear him say how he truly believes you can compete in the NBA with the best players in the world, how does his belief in you shape your work ethic?
Man, it's crazy because like me and him had the same, like we on the same type of boat kind of, because like we just believe in each other so much. It's just crazy. It's just out the window. So like when I hear him tell me that, I believe that I'm going, like, I can play with anybody in the NBA. Like I would love to go against Dame, what he just did yesterday.
Oh, 61?
Yes, I would love to go against the best players in the world. Like I think I could play with the best of them, and I want to be one of the best to go down in the league.
Now, when all is said and done, speaking of being the best, do you feel like you can be the best player in UNCG basketball history?
Ah, man. I've been asked this a lot, man. It's just so many heads been there, man. It's just been like, you have like Kyle Hans, you have Frank Salazzo, Trevor Simpson, Deontay Baldwin. It's just so many people that was in front of me that built this program up to me now. And we couldn't be like who we are today if it wasn't for them type of players back then.
The NBA certainly is a realistic destination for you, and over the summer you put your name in the mix to get evaluated and see where your stock falls. Then you opted to return to school. How did you break that news that you would be coming back for your senior year to Coach Miller?
When I talked with my mom, my family, so it was a family decision. We just thought about it, and we just laid out the pros and cons of it. So I decided to go back and get my degree and work on whatever, everything I got to work on to get in the league for next year.
You said the NBA gave you some good feedback. What were they instructing you to do?
Instructing me they was probably saying free throws and the shooting. That's the main two things I've been hearing the throughout my whole process was those two things. But they said I can get to the rim anytime I want. I'm a very downhill player. I can get to my spots whenever I want. Make some solid plays this year. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm surprised nobody said anything about my size because, I'm kind of like bigger than what I'd expected to be.
Do you feel like sometimes people underestimate how good you are at 6'1" ish? Like that people at times can say, well, he's only this size, but you use that as a source of motivation, like you said, to say, look, I play so much bigger than my height.
Yeah. Yeah, I always use that. Coach Miller always tell me like you're really 6'1", but you play like a 6'7", 6'8". So I take that to heart all the time. Like I take my heart over a height anytime. Like I really don't care how big you is. I'm just gonna go at you every time.
And your wingspan, right, is 6'8", I've read
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of long. It's kind
Yeah.
of my size.
So no wonder you're number 2 in the country in steals with those long arms as you were able to get in the passing channels. I'm curious, Isaiah, as you were having those discussions over the summer with NBA teams, and I'm assuming they were all virtually and maybe over a Zoom call,
Yeah.
like what are those like? Like, is it like a one-on-one? Are you meeting with a couple different people in their executive office, or like, and how long do they last? Like, take us inside those, because 99.9% of the world is never going to have that opportunity to be on a Zoom call with an NBA team.
Yeah. With the Zoom calls, it was basically like I want to say like it was an interview basically. Like they're asking me some questions, so far and so on. They could try to get to know me, how I am in the court, how I am off the court. Some of them was a one-on-one. Some like I had like one was one-on-one, but the rest of them I had like a lot of people on there. I had like 6 to 7 or 8 people on Zoom calls with other team like people that was on there. So yeah, it was just you just go straight into it. They ask me how I'm doing. They ask questions. It'll take like 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Okay. So they basically are getting to know you, your backstory. Was
Yeah.
there a question that they asked where it took a little extra thinking? Like, wow, I hadn't thought about that, but to show you how much research and how much they really want to know about you, to the lengths in which they'll ask all kinds of questions?
I kind of prepared before I like went to every interview. I had like I kind of like researched the teams, and
Nice.
who's all like cut like on the teams and who's like was like on paper. It's like some of their background stories. I had like a whole bunch of research I had to do, but and I didn't feel unprepared at all. I went in there confidently, and I just went in there and be me.
That is the best advice. That's the best way to do it. And they've done research on you. They've seen that you have what is it, 50-inch vertical?
Yeah.
50-inch vertical. What's something you've jumped over that has nothing to do with basketball that impresses you? Like, I mean,
Mhm.
this is like, you could be a superhero in the sense.
Something I jumped. I just jumped over people basically. Like when I was I really haven't jumped over anything like specific, but like when I jump in the pool, I kind of jump far, so I gotta be cautious, like what place I be jumping in if I go to the pool or anything like that, because I might make it to the the other side. So yeah, I gotta be cautious when I do stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. You're obviously going to be very safe and careful with what you're doing. You dunked over Wes Miller. Did I hear that?
Oh yeah, I did I kind of like my freshman year. I kind of had him hold the ball over his head,
Okay.
and then I like went over him, over my legs up, and like reversed it like on the other side.
Was he nervous at all? And were you, that you wouldn't
He
be able
told
to pull
me,
this off?
yeah, yeah. I wasn't nervous because I knew I could do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, like come on. And coach said I had like his words. He said I had a lot of balls to do it. So I had a lot of balls. I had a lot of balls to do it. So I did it that year. Everybody in the gym went crazy. Like that was my first time. It was like our not March Madness, Midnight Madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that seemed to be like the sign of things to come for you. Like that was the snapshot that led to you doing all of these things you're doing on the court. You've had some extraordinary dunks in games. I look at the
Mhm.
putback jam against Mercer, so
Yeah.
many others, the windmills you've had. But what's the most satisfying jam you've had at a practice on a teammate?
I mean, it happens every year. Everybody gonna get dunked on. Like everybody, like in our practices, everybody gets dunked on. Like one time, James dunked on me. That was like my sophomore year. I know somebody gonna dunk on me this year in practice, so I'm not, cause we're way athletic this year, so I'll be looking forward. I'll challenge it.
Speaking of that athleticism and next year, as far as practices go, I know you guys have had the opportunity to get back on the court. What are those sessions structured like, and how is it being able to get together with your teammates?
It's great, man. It's just great having all our brothers out there, all the coaches. It's just fun. Like this year, practice is just so competitive. Like practice has been feeling like games lately. Like it's been so intense. It's just been so structured to a point where everybody's just going at each other and you just fighting through like a practice and just growing and getting better all together.
When does Wes Miller get on you the hardest, in a good way? But like, when does he really get on you, Isaiah, and hold you accountable?
He held me accountable all the time. As a leader of the team, he don't want me to feel any type of special. So he'll go at. I already know he's gonna like go at me the most probably, cause like I know the ways in, ways out of UNCG type thing. So I know he's just gonna apply pressure to me for the young guys to see how it really is to come to college and what we like gotta go through during games and certain things like that in practice. He's gonna push the limits. He's gonna challenge us to grow better.
Isaiah Miller is with us, UNCG basketball star. I'm Bryan Fenley with Fox Sports Radio. As far as Miller, the rest of the staff, the incredible run that you guys have been on for so many years now, when you consider what that staff has done as far as player development, why are they so good at getting the most out of players?
It's crazy because I don't know what other schools doing, but this school, I know they genuinely care about their players. They want to get to know us. They want to hold conversations. They want to hang out with us, stuff like that. They just want to get to like know us genuinely as genuine people, and that really affects a player when you're trying to grow. So once we get in the gym, we already know it's down to business. It's about down to toughness, work ethic. So and our coaches, they keep going. Like we got coaches that won't give up on you. We got coaches that's going to keep coming until we get to where we need to be.
When you think about where UNCG as a basketball team, and this kind of alludes to your last answer, but why has the program been such a fertile ground for future pros? And like, to come to UNCG is such a great idea because you are seeing more and more ex-Spartans go on to have professional basketball careers.
It just, like I told you from the beginning, it's just people like Kyle Hines, Trevor Simpson, Nick Paulus, Kel DB, James Malik. We just got so many people, Marv, like Francis, Jordy. It's just so many people that just put us in a predicament of where like our today's team is we're just growing off them. We're keeping our principles basic. We're keeping what we're valuing in the gym, stuff like that. We're just valuing those type of things when we hit the basketball court. We're just gonna keep taking that, and as we succeed as a team, most of us gonna see that as individuals when we get to pro life.
You're a family man, and your mom has meant so much to you through this basketball process and this life process. When do you lean on her the most, especially these days?
Man, I've been leaning on her like a lot actually. So I can't even explain like just one time. It's just when I'm just at my Lord, like when I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm gonna call her. She's gonna get me ready for it. Like when I don't feel like getting up, she's gonna call me before I even call her. Like She just calls me in the morning. She called me like every morning at around like 7, 8 o'clock. She just tell me to get up, go get active. Like she tell me to take my vitamins, all that. She just make sure I'm locked in onto like everyday life, what I need to do and everything, like certain things like that. And plus she got a very good sense of humor. So I really love that.
Okay, so let's hear about this sense of humor. How does she use it on you, and how does it go off so well?
It just it's very explicit. Like she just like my mom is one of the people that like brings off energy, and I'm a very energetic guy. My mom know that, so she's gonna match my energy.
Man, I love it, and I know that she comes to a lot of your games, or tries to as many as possible. When she's done watching one of your games, what's something that she'll tell you as far as what she saw from you out on the court?
First thing she'll tell me, I'm not finished. She'll say there's no finish line. She'll just say, "You're not finished, baby. Keep going. Like keep going." That just drives me like, dang, my mom really telling me that. And like she just came to the game and saw me have like a 20 point, 25-point game with a couple rebounds, assists, and she keep telling me, do better and do better type thing. If I have a bad game, she'll tell me, get in that gym right when you get to school. She'll tell me right when I get in, be late. Or she'll just yell at me about my free throws and shooting.
So, like, how much extra work are you putting in the perimeter shooting and free throws? Because I know that you are developing that multi-dimensional game, but like you said, those are two aspects and avenues that you're really putting more time into.
Yeah, I've been working on a lot. I've been watching a lot of videos of my games this year. I won't say I changed up. I kind of like converted into like more of a point guard aspect as I'm looking, instead of being that attacking guard like I was this year. Get my teammates way like better out there on the court, instead of like looking for my own type thing, forcing type of shots, and just I don't know, just as I look at the game now, it's just way different from where I looked at it a year ago or 2 years ago. Just feel like I'm just starting to know basketball, learn more about basketball. I can't wait to just keep growing off of it as like we keep going.
And I've read that, yeah, you've become like a basketball film junkie. Like you're going and you're really digesting and dissecting your games and other games and getting the X's and O's and being a student of the
Yeah.
game. And from that perspective, how has that given you an advantage over the competition? The non-basketball work that is off the court, but where you are really throwing yourself into being educated in the game and learning the intricacies of it.
Yeah, we got a great film coordinator. He sends me a lot of film. He sends me anything I ask for. I ask him for the defensive end, the defensive side. It's just like I don't want to make no mistakes when I'm out there playing basketball. I know I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna try and limit it as much as possible while I'm out there. So that film is just gonna mold my mind to where I gotta be, how I look, where my teammates are type thing if I'm driving. So I can just feel like I know. I learned that from like Chris Paul when I went to his camp. When I went to his camp, I learned a lot because he like put on like he had film. We watched film at his camp for like an hour and a half. And he was like saying like he do this before almost every game. He just watch. He just watch his players, where his players at on defense. He just watched where he gotta be, where he wasn't at type thing. So he just watched the game. He just get to know like where everything is basically.
That Chris Paul elite guard camp, I believe, is yearly, and you got to be really good to go to
Yeah,
that. I mean, it's what is it, the 25 best guards across the country, and they
yeah,
converge. And the reports out of that was that you showed up in a big way. You might have come in lesser known, but certainly not the case afterwards.
yeah.
What was it about your ability to thrive in that setting that caught a lot of people by surprise and showed a lot of people just how good of a player you are?
Yeah. The thing that caught a lot of people was my defense. I really brought the communication to that camp. I was really out there just yelling, like communicating my tail off. It just and after that I had like showing people that I can get to any spot I want to. I can make plays whenever I want to type thing. The first 2 days I showed them a little bit of my shot, showed them how it was and how I can really like preserve how my liability on offense. So the days after that, I kind of like fell in love with it a little bit too much. So I kind of like switched back over to where I was, like where I knew, and I was getting to the rim.
Got two more questions for you. Isaiah Miller is with us with UNCG. I'm Bryan Fenley, a UNCG grad. And again, I am starstruck to have you, Isaiah, on the podcast, man. I look up to you a lot and just your program, and I'm thrilled to see the success that all of you guys are having. You are going to be a focal point of this team, obviously. Beyond you, you've got some teammates that can contribute in a big way. What are some of those guys doing off the court? Like, what do you like to do for fun with some of your teammates that gives you a little bit of a break from basketball because you guys are so committed to that, but something fun you guys do off the court? And who's with you when you do these things?
I mean, off the court, like during the pandemic, we can't do much, but
Sure.
we mostly just pick somebody's house to go over. We play games we play like Jenga, play Uno, we play like Monopoly. It like get intense though. It's like a very intense game because all of us so competitive. Like we're so competitive.
So who are you playing against? Who are you going up against?
I'm going against like Boss Latte. I'm going against like AJ McGinnis. I'm going against Kyrie Thompson, G-Lo, Angelo Allegri, Mohammed. Who else? Going against like Caleb Hunter. It's just we all just being there, just waiting for our turn. Basically, we play games. Oh my God, we play 2K like crazy. We play like 2K and Fortnite like crazy.
So who talks the most smack? Because if you're
God,
playing those sports or if you're playing those games, you have to talk some sort of smack.
Oh my God, I think the most. I mean, it balances out. I got two. I know who talk the most trash, and that's Kyrie Thompson and Mohammed. Those are two for me right there.
Can they back it up though? That's the question.
Oh, they back it up.
Okay, so then it's worth it.
Yeah, they that's worth it. That's worth it.
I absolutely love it. Isaiah, my last question for you. What is the underlying reason for why you're doing all this? Why are you putting yourself so into basketball? Why are you driven so much to see the success and to get as far in the game and in life as possible?
I mean, I tell this to everybody. I tell this to people that's close to me. I tell my family all the time. They ask me why I'm doing this. I tell them I'm doing it for the passion for me, because I got a very big passion about basketball. Even though I didn't start off playing basketball, I started off playing football at first. When I hit that court, it was just I just feel like it was my purpose to play basketball because like all my athletic aspects, everything like that. But I do it for me, and I know if I'm doing it for me, that means I'm doing it through God, and He allowed me to do whatever I want to do every day. So I really thankful for that. So
I can't imagine how proud your mom is as well to see you transform and rise the ranks as you are. And I can't wait to watch you on the court coming up here. And I look forward to staying in touch with you and your program. Isaiah Miller, thank you so much for coming on. This was a blast.
Thank you.
And I love it, man. I love having you on.
Thank you. This was fun, actually. This was really